If not now, Chris, when?
Oof. Is this about putting stuff off?
Could be. Could be. I mean, also often feels much like do it now. Just do it now. Drop everything. Now's the best time.
Yeah.
But it's not always the best time.
No.
No, so I guess what I wanted to talk about today was the comma when part, and be a bit more concrete about that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not the right time. But if it's not the right time now, doesn't mean I'll just put it off until whenever. Mañana, never. Actually, when, really thinking about when, is quite important.
Well, a lot of stuff you can't do now. It takes if it's worth doing, it probably takes a bit of work, you know.
Yeah.
So you're saying, how do you choose when?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you tie in the things in your life?
Yeah. And there's something about, for me, the more you want something, the more you want it now. So there's that balance.
Or sometimes you can buy into a dream. And then the dream is so strong that you don't question it.
Okay. Nice.
And then it might turn out to be a pipe dream.
Okay.
Or a nightmare.
Yes.
And actually everything that you had been putting off for mañana, tomorrow. So here's a classic example, which I think is quite pertinent to modern times. The 20th century retirement.
Yes.
Now, this is something I think people in their 20s, 30s and 40s, it might be a bone of contention that's often mentioned in the discussions with so-called baby boomer generations, where it's kind of like, you get to retire. We'll never get to retire. We don't even have the jobs to start, let alone get to a retirement fund and then retire. So in this, you've got this huge pull of a total shift in how people are experiencing life. But I would go back and actually make the point of, was retirement all it seemed from the 20th century?
Well, I heard that people were getting diagnosed for Alzheimer's because they'd finished work and retired and had all these dreams about spending time with a partner, and then when they're spending time with a partner for the first time in 50 years, they had depression, but it was being misdiagnosed. Yeah.
From my own experience in the past in a cancer clinic, where I've had to break the news to new retirees on multiple occasions. And it doesn't need to be, well, it's not very common for that person. That person, those people, there's definitely more than one, they had planned a retirement.
Yeah.
They'd planned this was going to be their time. And unfortunately, within a few months of retirement, they were in my clinic and I was telling them they had terminal cancer. And in that situation, if not now, when? It's a really pertinent question because it also comes down to other aspects, right? That what was it that was so great about the retirement dream?
Yeah.
One part of it was that your social contract dues were paid, right? So you'd had a job for life, maybe worked at one company, gone up the ladder or however far up the ladder you wanted.
Yep.
You could now, because you'd done your time, you are now absolved of your societal dues. Yeah, they've had a good innings. They've put in the work. From that perspective, you should be absolved a bit of guilt and shame because you put in a whole life's worth of work into that career. Good for you. You've contributed to society, paid your taxes. You can now enjoy yourself. Now's the time for you to relax and go into the twilight of your life. This is a package idea. This is like almost like a package holiday idea of all these things that come together. But some of the things that weren't evident was that a lot of these people did retire to ill health, even with things like severe arthritis.
Yeah.
So you retired, you've got a pension packet, you wanted to travel the world, but now your knees don't work.
And especially people that were in the generations before, because they wouldn't live quite as long. Was it ever guaranteed?
Well, exactly. So a retirement for when the life expectancy, when pensions were set up in workplaces and started becoming more prevalent, the life expectancy wasn't very long after you'd be expected to retire anyway. But it's only been in the last last
You just
20,
get to
30
retire for
years.
5 years or something.
10 years
Yeah,
max. You know, you kind of, if you're retiring at 60, 65,
Yeah.
and your life expectancy is up to 75, and most people did die in that situation in the 20th century then it does cover that amount. But now we've got a situation where people are living in their retirement for maybe 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
So it's a very different proposition altogether.
Yeah.
And especially, like you say, if you have neurodegenerative disease, if your knees aren't letting you be as mobile as previously, or other joint problems, this is a very different thing.
Yeah. But you can be contributing as a grandparent or something in different ways.
Definitely.
And not just with your family, but like...
community, teaching, sharing,
Yeah. And also, before modern life, you put in your effort bringing up your kids and help supporting the grandchildren, and that they would be your pension.
Yeah.
In a way. So there is something quite natural about it, where you put your innings in and then someone looks after you. Or some kind of cycle to it. But we're talking about the way it can be taken to form your plans in life in an unhealthy way, or the way it can be taken for granted that you're going to get all this time,
you're going to be healthy with it,
and that I'm going to be happy when I do this thing. But if you've not done the thing for 50 years, you might not like it.
Exactly. Exactly. Also, you might have prioritized work to such a degree that you don't have any hobbies.
Yeah.
So now you've retired and you've got lots of time.
Yeah.
And maybe a bit of reticence, or not keen on starting a new hobby.
Yeah.
Maybe you're now scared of starting a new hobby because you've not started one. You don't know what it is like to go through that beginner's curve for anything.
Well, and also, like, you might have had to do stuff because of work. If you've not ever had a hobby where you've kind of put it into place yourself, the sort of self-encouragement, you might not be prepared to have that. And I think, and we're also talking, do you need something? Do we always need to be doing something?
Well, it's a good point, but for a whole 30 years of retirement, maybe something somewhere could fit.
Yeah, so there's this idea that actually we do still need to sort of probably contribute, or to feel good,
that's what I'm
to feel satisfied.
To be involved and connected.
Be connected,
You can't just, this is part of the point, right? That the if not now, then when, the question applies to everything. How, if you're not allowing a certain thing to take shape and you're not acting now towards something, then where in this future, this imagined future, because it's not true, it's just what you're modeling in your head, it's what you're imagining, and it might be different to what other people are imagining, that where are you thinking of doing this? And how much of your imagination is true? How much of it is accurate? How much of it is fallible? How much of it is risky? How much of it just makes assumptions that aren't worth making assumptions for? You know, there's so many things that once we start imagining, and that's the whole point, that even if you're imagining a different when, if it's not now, then make it concrete. When are you putting it off until? If it is putting it off, it might be sensible. Why not be putting it off? You might not be taking a certain step right now because you need to get a certain amount of resource behind you. You might need to get some legal permissions. You might need contracts in place. There might be certain goalposts, but that should be quite concrete. That if you're not doing it now, the when is after those things, rather than whenever. And I'll just be back on my phone. I'll do this first, and then at some point I'll do that and get around to it. And that's neither living in the now, and that's certainly not shaping something or working towards something in the future.
I think there's a lot to be said for knowing yourself and knowing whether goals and dreams are fantasy versions of the future. So being in touch with what you want out of them as well, because it's very easy to think in the future of, well, whenever you think of the future, it's not real. It's made up. It's like a sandcastle that's been created by the mind. So being clear what you want out of things, and just making a start. I think you're saying make a start on.
Make a start. Just make it concrete. Make it. Even if you're not doing it now, have a little.
So you're basically saying, to answer the question of when, you're basically saying there is no when. Something has to start now.
I like it. Yeah.
Whether that's your learning about your attitude to the thing,
yeah,
or make a start.
or make a start, or do the other thing that's going to then open up the when. But do something.
Yes.
Do something.
Unless there's some behaviour or action.
Even if you need to learn something, get educated in a way before you do a certain thing.
That's a behaviour.
Yeah.
That's researching it.
But all those things,
everything else is putting off.
Yeah, everything else, especially if it's not a fully explored idea. If it's half imagined and it sounds nice, I'll do that. Then you can get to the point and then be in a situation where, had I known, I would have taken better care of my knees.
What you need is someone shouting, "Your idea doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Stop dreaming. Do it."
Yeah.
Call to action.
It's brief comfort.
Yeah.
But it can be hard, it can be perfect. But there's so many other aspects. So the health aspect, like you said, there's people getting to that point where you've got the money, but now you don't know, you've got maybe no hobbies. Maybe for work, you've sacrificed a lot of friendships. You've moved away.
Yeah.
Going back to your grandparent point, that's a very good point historically for cultures all around the world, that when we're all together. Now, increasingly, we move away.
Yeah.
So when we move away and there's not an extended family, and there's a very small nuclear family, then that disconnection happens again.
Yeah.
So you can't lean into what has been done all over the world for centuries, millennia, in every culture. And that's only happened in the last 100 years or so, where people increasingly are just moving far further and further away. So that retirement period reconnection is more difficult. And it might have been something that you've been suggesting for your kids to do all the time anyway. It's like, go over there and do that thing that's really great.
Yeah.
And then what you didn't realize, a factor into modeling, is you don't now see them. You know? But this is part of the reason, like, test it out.
Yeah.
Do the experiment. And then the point of, like I said, you might not, the things that might come back to bite you, you might not have any knees. Unfortunately, you might have a terrible diagnosis. You might not have have any interests now because you've worked so hard. You don't have any interests along the way. And now when you're trying to pick up a new interest, it might be difficult. Not everyone's able to pick up a new hobby straight away, especially if they're not ready to fail or be rubbish at something at the age of 65 or something, you know, like, I'm going to be a novice at this. Well, if you've not been a novice for 40 years...
Skateboarding would be no good.
Oof, yeah, that'd be a tricky one.
Although Tony Hawk's is still going, I think.
He started it.
Yeah.
Don't know what's happening with his knees at the moment. No. Then even people, so getting disconnected from people and then trying to reconnect after.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
And hopefully as the generations, as we're seeing, there's a huge top heaviness in terms of age in a lot of societies where we're getting a very large segment of aging population. Hopefully more services and opportunities should set up so we can address some of these, so people are helped to find new hobbies and reconnect with other people, even if their children or grandchildren have moved further away. Then that should be an option.
Well, hopefully sort of,
there's a market.
Yeah.
An increasing
people
market.
Secretly want this. They actually want to contribute and
connect. Play, have joy, especially at that point, right? Because they've done all that societal stuff. They've paid their dues. And paying their dues is that big thing that keeps coming around as a big motivator in human behavior. To rid yourself of guilt and shame. It's like, I'm not going to be ashamed because I've done my career. I'm not going
I've got good standing within the community.
That's it.
Yeah.
You can't, I won't be made to feel guilty. I won't be made to feel ashamed because I've done this bit for other people and I've done my side of that. It's a big part of this whole package dream, if you like. Like a package holiday, a package dream. But actually there's components of that dream that weren't thought about, like the disconnection, like the health issues, and maybe even learning how to spend. If you spent however many decades just scrimping and saving, it can become very hard to actually now change and spend. Because
inflation.
Inflation, or just being, when you pride yourself on being thrifty and being sensible with money, to then go and burn it at the other end, not an easy switch to make.
No.
Yeah, you need to put in the time to learn how to burn money like I have. That's not true. So those components of it. And I suppose there's another question too. So what if that package dream of retirement isn't on the horizon?
Mm.
What do you do if you're in your 20s, 30s and 40s now and there's no job security?
Well, what about the inability to plan for the future? Lower delayed gratification.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably even worse, to think that like I just can't do this, or there's no jobs, or to actually, I think part of it's a mindset as well. Part of it is maybe a fierce independence to be less, to be more free in the moment and stuff. And sometimes that's good. You see young people sort of saying no to certain jobs or doing things that they want to, being more creative perhaps. But yeah, don't steal that dream, long-term dreams of retirement or being a parent or father or grandfather or something.
What do you mean by don't steal the dream?
Well, I think because everything's quite instant at the moment with apps and the choice of food that you can get, it's all about the moment, and they wouldn't like to think that it's harder for people to have long-term dreams.
Really
so on the other side of it, like it's really nice to have long-term dreams and to see these stages in life. But if you're constantly in a place where you feel out of place or something's wrong with the world, or ecological anxiety. I mean, we've heard this since the 80s that the world was, and so we've probably got used to it in some way, but like it's a very big thing for the younger generations to have an anxiety like that. So,
and it's more tangible.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, whether you believe the two are linked or not.
Well, I think it's really untangible. I think it's one of those general anxieties that, I mean, it's tangible because everything's talked about it, but it's one of those anxieties that's quite intangible in a way. Unless you're living it and you see like actually it's flooding, or it's more intangible. It's more the concept.
But we are more aware of these freak weather events.
Yeah, but we are. But it's not. I don't know if it doesn't touch us in a way that even in the past. Like I remember, like not being able to go to school because the snow was. It was much more disruptive. Power cuts. So I felt more like we were touched by nature. Cold houses. This is just an argument. I'm not saying I disagree, but to me, there's an element to eco-anxiety that I think is really untangible. It's something that you can sort of buy into. There's lots to read about it, but maybe it doesn't touch the people that have it as much. And probably, I don't know this. It's easy for me to say this, but maybe there's people in some countries where they are touched by ecology or environmental issues, and it's very real, but they just have to get on with life. And they don't have the anxiety in the same way that stops them from doing life. But I don't really know. This is just a feeling about it. Yeah.
So how can we repackage or review the manana dream for people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s now? So if there's not the 20th century retirement package, what are we thinking of?
I think you should have long-term goals. Have your retirement plan. That might be I want to go on a world cruise, or I don't know, I want to write a book, you know. Have these goals, but no, what I tell myself was life has different stages and you won't be the same person.
Absolutely.
And here's a little way of thinking about it, looking at the people in your life that are in those stages, and you can sort of take role models from different people, but know that you'll probably be a bit more like them and a bit different to how you are now. You won't stay the same. Yeah. So be prepared to have these long-term goals where you do different things and they take a long time to work at. Just watch for that impatience around goals, like I want it now, or that kind of, oh, it's too far away, I give up.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that we're plagued with, right?
It's your relationship with the goal.
Yeah.
Does the environment, oh, the world's going to end, so don't bother having a pension. That would be holding you back from doing stuff. It could happen, but it would hold, if it's going to happen and that's holding you back, then, you know, it's what's your relationship with goals and dreams.
Yeah. And whether you're coming at them in a kind of nihilistic or negative, which is
catastrophizing.
Yeah. Which is going to then influence the choices that you make.
Yeah.
Just from the way that you started to.
And a lot of it may be about not taking action. A lot of the mind will always come up with things like, here's a reason not to do anything.
Yeah.
You know?
You can stay just as you are, especially if it's this comfortable habit that you've got yourself in front of the phone, ordering in food.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's the best way to be. I mean, that's another really good point, that we are so comfortable. I mean, the whole point of goods and services is to make us more comfortable, right? That life by itself, without technology, without goods and services, without business, is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Hunger is uncomfortable. Trying to grow food or hunt food is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And unpredictable. All the actual natural parts of life are uncomfortable.
Yeah, but comfort's uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, it is now, because we've gone so far with it, right? Because we're almost victims of our own success.
Yeah.
That we are just, we're so comfortable with comfort that the slightest bit of discomfort, like a longer term plan or getting something wrong in front of a group of people where we're learning a new skill or a hobby, it's so big compared to watching the next episode on Netflix with pizza in hand.
Yeah.
Like the two, like there's such a huge difference that are we almost untrained to tolerate any level of discomfort. Whereas it's in the discomfort, that connection.
Yeah. Where do you find yourself? My big thing is vaping, especially young people, and going on your phone. I mean, I'm bad at going on my phone, but the vaping as well. Whenever there's a feeling of discomfort or boredom, I get it all the time. Boredom, discomfort, you could have a vape. You can do it anywhere. It's so convenient, in the car and at home. Or you can go on your phone. And it takes away that feeling. But it's also, there's a part inside you going, hello, like the inner child or whatever is like going, I'm bored, I'm agitated. You never get to be the internal parent that's like, oh, I can feel that you're bored, but like, should we do something? You can get this from yourself, not from an external thing, the news or the phone or a vape. You're missing out every time that happens. Those micro moments through the day.
Definitely. And those signals don't last either.
Yeah. Well, you don't get to find that out.
Yeah.
The curve just kind of never goes, the anxiety, the stress, or the boredom curve, or anxiety curve, don't give it a chance.
I've found that if you don't listen to your body enough in a certain way, it'll stop talking to you.
Yeah.
It'll just pack in the signals. You won't listen. There's no point. Not getting through.
You can sit through a bad back, and eventually it will say hello in a certain way.
In a different way,
a few years down the line. But you can
you
totally
listening to me.
outride, you can totally ignore that.
Hunger.
Hunger, yeah.
Hunger is a good one. Like if you never experience hunger, hunger will go.
But there's a big thing for me about hunger and emotional hunger. For me, the emotional hunger feels like the solar plexus a bit higher up. But if you don't have time where you've kind of done a bit of a fast or if you just keep eating, comfort eating, you never get to know that feeling that's like, oh, I'm a bit lonely or a bit worried, you know, and it'll never get sorted. You'll never see yourself fully. And that's what we're here for, I think.
And eventually the signals will just turn off.
Yeah.
Because they're being ignored. Like if you just keep pushing your body into one way and forcing it to a certain signal, it's going to adapt to that.
Is there any sort of neuroscience in that? So like if you keep, so with mindfulness, there's exercises which increase our sensory clarity. So let's say, like the hunger thing, I might think I'm hungry. But actually if I can sit with it for a bit and go into it, I get more details. So the more the awareness is on there, the bigger the picture. So I'm like, actually, whenever I felt that feeling, I thought of food. Now it's a feeling. Now it's here. It's moving a bit. It has this quality to it, like it's a bit of slight stabbing pain or an ache, but it's moving. It's all this information comes from looking more clearly.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if it's like a neuroscience process or something that happens that it's a bit like learning a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, part of one of the main issues that is tricky in this is that who feels hunger nowadays, really? If we are snacking so frequently, when do we even get to feel hungry?
Yeah.
So eventually we don't know what hunger is because we might not be allowing ourselves to be hungry.
Yeah.
And also by the same context, if we happen to be eating too much, we also don't know what fullness is. And if you've gone past the point where your body is telling you it's full, you're uncomfortable, you're full, and you're still eating, then eventually that signal's going to go too.
Yeah.
And then the diseases that come with it, reflux disease, difficulty breathing, obesity, all those things will come eventually because the first few signals that were when you could do something about it and the body's managing to cope, they were, for want of a better word, ignored.
But that, what I'm saying is, there's sort of is that sort of well, let me put it so with the hunger thing now, that or any mindfulness sensitivity to sensations, it feels like there's more neurons on it. I don't know if that's true or not, but it feels like I can see more clearly. There's so much more information, and it's a bit like
it's basically focusing your attention.
Yeah.
Now the point is that this is something we have volition on, or at least even if we don't have complete volition on, even our habits or our addictions can change where our attention lies. But if it does it enough, this comes back to neural habituation. When the same, for energy efficiency in the brain, when the same neuron or same group of neurons is giving you the same stimulus and firing in the same way, over time, the attention to that decreases, the response to that decreases. That's why things get boring. That's why you get used to certain things. That's why habits form. All of these things are because it's not as interesting as the first time. It's not as exciting as the first time.
Yeah.
Because it was a new novel. When it first happened, it was novel. It was a change.
Yeah.
But now it's no longer novel. So the point is, what's happening, what you're describing with the attention, is that if the attention has been shifted onto something else, let's say, come back to it, your phone or Netflix or whatever you're watching, and maybe you're snacking at the same time. Maybe there are some signals saying you're not hungry. You're full now. You're full. But there's also contrasting signals, like this still tastes really good.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about eating this all week. I'm watching this at the same time. Now, all those signals are competing. Now, which one's got the longest novelty to stay in there?
Yeah. But there's also an element with the mindfulness of developing novelty, or that, like, it's seeing for the first time. That's the whole thing, isn't it? It's like waking up to, like, as if this was the first time you felt that feeling.
Yeah.
Or
the first time you've ever seen technology.
So you can bring a type of novelty with your type of a new way of seeing.
And then it leans back into all these neurological processes. Because what you're doing is you're upending the neural habituation. The nerves are not used to it because you're almost fooling yourself into this isn't something to be this is new, totally new. You've not experienced this. Yeah, that's a good way of linking those two things. Yeah. But so finally on that point, make plans. Like I think there's two parts to it, right? So what can you do if you are already in the retirement group plus and the retirement dream didn't work out for you? But if not now, then when? And you plan for retirement time, I suppose, it'd be interesting to think about what you can do now in that situation. I suppose it is. There's a huge market for loads of people to get involved in this with this aging retired population to reconnect, learn new things, explore new things, catered to that. I think the term silver dollar was used for this particular market, leading into what is it that might still be keeping people stuck?
Well, I think we are creatures of habits. There was that TV show, Ever Decreasing Circles. It was about aging, a couple that were aging, I think. But I quite like that. It's like you get into smaller circles, you like leave the house less. You see it happening. But yeah, seeing with those new eyes, do new things, or do the same things but see them differently. I think there's something in that, especially as you get older, to an opportunity there to not be habit driven so much, or see things with fresh eyes.
Yeah, there's more time too.
Yeah.
And all the technology now available to help you to do it too.
Yeah.
I suppose for the younger viewers too, if you are, now that we don't have the 20th century retirement as a likely option for us, then I think it's important to cash in your chips now.
Well, yeah.
Along the way.
Yes, but still be able to have long-term dreams, because I think we had this sort of, a bit of this was, the newspapers were talking about this in the 90s and stuff. I think it's likely that there will be people retired and on pensions in 50 years' time. And these people are in their 20s now.
Yeah.
I think it's likely that there's a chance it's just going to be business as usual.
Maybe. Yeah, absolutely.
Big changes.
Yeah. I mean, the point is,
changes, but
there are also going to be a lot of inheritances, right?
Yeah.
So even if there aren't jobs, there's going to be inheritances maybe. They're gonna. So yeah, who knows what the. But one, I suppose the thing we can learn from that 20th century retirement trap, because there are some trappings of it. Well, obviously some upsides to it, but there are some trappings of it, is deferring to an assumed point where actually we're getting to see that mobility is not always a guarantee, health is not always a guarantee, connection is not always a guarantee, that in those regards you can cash your chips now, and maybe you should.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason not to connect with people.
Yeah, and there's loads of reasons to use your knees whilst you got them.
Yeah.
Because it does feel good.
Yeah.
It's a big part of living, is to get out and about and moving, seeing things, visiting people, playing sports together, dancing, playing music. There's so many things.
Yeah.
And yeah, if not now, then when? And if it is not now, make the when quite concrete.
Yeah. And with that, experiments.
Yeah.
Start them.
Do the experiments. Do the experiments. Make those little changes.
Yeah.
Building on from the ideas in this video, on the end screen, there'll be a couple of videos you can choose from. One's our latest video, and the other one is about the scarcity mindset and where it comes from.
Yeah.
Because that actually might be what drives this kind of putting off in the first place.
Yeah.